Hello TYT Science fans, I'm back after 2 weeks, but that's okay because I see my two bearded colleagues here at TYT Science have been keeping you merrily entertained with posts on artificial photosynthesis, baboons learning four-letter words, life on Mars. Go and check them out, they're great videos. Right, what I want to talk about today is corruption in science, specifically citations and impact factors of journals. So, as a scientist, when I publish a paper, I have a reference list at the back, and those are papers that I cite. They are important to mine. They are the foundation of what I'm arguing in the paper. Similarly, when I publish my paper, I hope that other papers will then go on to cite mine. And in fact, if you are a scientist, you can go to Google Scholar. You can set up your own profile where you list all of your publications and it finds them. And then you can see how many times those papers of yours have been cited by other papers. And this makes for a fun little metric to compare your impact on the literature with that of your friends, your colleagues, or whatever. But importantly, and this is the most important thing here, this is how journals are ranked. So journals are ranked by their impact factor, which is effectively out of what they've been publishing in the last year, what is the citation rate for those papers. So the big journals publish papers that get widely cited, and then the lower journals publish papers that don't get cited very much. Now, journals are businesses. Journals compete with each other. Journals want to get ahead of each other. Every journal wants to be number one. So what do journals do? They have to game the system. And there are various ways that a journal can increase its impact factor. Of course, it can select the papers that it thinks will generate a higher impact factor, and it can have an eye on that metric rather than an eye on purely what it thinks is an interesting paper. It can also produce its own publish its own papers reviewing what has been in the journal before, so that it's giving those papers citations. Or it can actively tell the scientists publishing in the journal that they need to reference papers that have been in that journal before. And that's pretty heavy-handed, but that seems to be what's happening. So in a paper by Will Hite and Fang in the journal Science in March this year, 2012, a paper entitled Scientific Publications, Coercive Citation in Academic Publishing, it was found by doing a survey of some 6,700 researchers that editors often force researchers to quote articles from their own journal. And so this study was done with leading management journals, and it was found this behavior was pretty rife to worrying degrees. Now, there are ways to catch this out, and in fact, Thomson Reuters, who do a metric on these journals, will look at the self-citation rate of journals, and they will put journals in time-out if that citation rate's too high. Problem solved? Well, not quite, because now I'm going to tell you about another article just last month by Phil Davis in the Scholarly Kitchen, and the title of that was The Emergence of a Citation Cartel. And he personally identifies in just his online blog, his article, an instance where there was a journal that rocketed up in impact factor. It doubled it. And he went and found that there was a review in another journal, and in the references section, out of 490 references, and that's a lot, 445 were to journal number one. And he identified another instance of this happening too. So clearly there's funny business going on in order to boost up these impact factors. Now, you might think this is all fun and games, but as people more and more start looking to this citation metric in order to judge the quality of journals, and also to judge individual researchers when they're applying for grants and jobs and things like this, I personally believe that this kind of emphasis on impact factor or personal citation rate, H-index, or whatever else is coming through from this metrics research, it's kind of dodgy, and it takes the eye off the ball of, you know, what's true and informative and things like that, and it makes it all very much a competitive sport in which people will try and cheat. So my question to you is, especially if you're scientists, do we really need impact factors? What purpose do they actually serve? Are they a help or are they a hindrance? Because let's face it, in this modern society, information technology is so good that if you want to find what papers have gone before, you don't need to keep your eye on the major journals. You just do searches in PubMed or Google Scholar for what's relevant to your research. So then, apart from a few journals that are acknowledged as mega journals, what is the point of these impact factors? What purpose do they serve? Over to you. Comments below. Thank you.